Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Nick, aka Mr. Crypto Vet, and today is September 22nd, 2024. And my goal in this video is to let you know all of the updates that are happening right now with GetFit Mining. I'm also going to cut down into the nitty gritty. We're going to remove all the BS, all the fluff. There's going to be no hype in this video. I'm going to let you know exactly what you can expect when you join MoveQuest, aka GetFit Mining. That name is only going to stick around here for about another month or so, and then we're transitioning into MoveQuest officially. So without further ado, we're just going to hop right into it. So the number one thing that I want to address first is, as of this morning, September 22nd, there is an update that happened to the app. We just released the 8th mining dock that is now available for purchase if you go into your GetFit Mining app, or not necessarily the app, but on the DApp. You can go in and now you can unlock the 8th dock. So I went in and I unlocked the 8th dock yesterday, and I put an Omega into that 8th dock. So some people woke up today and were kind of confused. Yesterday they received more shares, but this morning not quite as many shares. So we're going to address that. It was actually an update that happened in test flight. Me specifically, because I have an iPhone, I noticed the same thing. So I'm going to hop right into a screen share, and I'm going to show you guys what I am experiencing and where to find the solution to this problem that you might experience. So first, what I'm going to do is let me open my GetFit Mining app, and I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen here via cable. All right, so as you can see here, on September 20th, which was yesterday, I had 9.9 million shares, basically, and I didn't even max out. I only had 17,000 steps. I had 8.81 miles, and you can see the remainder there versus what I did on the 21st. I completed, I maxed out on everything except for sleep. I was short by 10 minutes, but that's okay. You can see significantly more activity, but less shares. And this is actually just a visual glitch. So what we're going to do, and I'm going based off of what was recommended in the Telegram group this morning. If you're not in the Telegram group, make sure you get into that Telegram group. I am going to make a special Telegram group or a WhatsApp specifically for my team, so that way you stay in the loop around the clock without having to worry about where to find the most up-to-date information and news as it relates to MoveQuest. So be on the lookout for that. I'm not going to drop a link for that down in the description, only because that I don't want a whole bunch of scammers and spammers coming into the group. It's just going to be specifically for my team. But so I'm not going to hit submit yet. I'm going to troubleshoot this first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close out of the app altogether. All right, so I closed the app, and now I'm going back into the app. And while we're going to let that load, let's just see if that simple little trick did the trick. So if I go back into earnings, you can see it still says 8.5. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to share where I found the solution to what people are saying is the issue with this. And I'm just going to go straight into the Telegram group so you can see what I'm talking about. And if I share that screen with you here, you can see. So the way I do it, I go into the actual MoveQuest Telegram, and then I click on the AVAX chat. This is the one that has the most activity, I would say. So you can see people are here saying, hey, I got 2 million shares less compared to yesterday's with 8 Omegas. And, I had that same experience. So I came here to see if there was a solution. Some people were recommending reverting the test flight upgrade or the update, but one of the admins came in here and suggested that that's not necessary. So let's find where I just saw the answer here not too long ago. Let's see here. Yeah, we can't see global shares until we submit. So good to know. Thank you very much for explaining. So the explanation was up here. These are the admins, this Jedi Master. So everybody got exactly what they're supposed to get. You see if there was a mistake in the personal shares that translated into the global shares, so the percentages remain exactly the same as far as what you earned. But more importantly, right here, another message from the admin. He says, for all intents and purposes, what happened is strictly a display issue. It's already been resolved, and there is a pending issue that is awaiting approval from Apple, as well as a pending update waiting approval from Google. Nothing is wrong and no need to revert. Everything is well. So we are going to test that theory out right now in real time. I'm going to share my phone screen again with you so you all can see. And we're not going to revert any kind of app or anything like that. We're just going to go right into it. And I'm just going to submit. Hopefully I have enough AVAX. Let me check. All right, I do have enough from what I saw. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to show you my history first before I even hit submit, just so you guys see I'm not manipulating anything. 19987 is the day that we're going to be submitting for. So we should see somewhere in the ballpark of 9 million shares as it relates to what we got for 19986. So let's go back over to earnings and submit. Right, transaction in progress. Looks like everything went through successfully. So now, and bam, look at that. Just like that, it already changed. So it is just a display issue. So we got 10.8, almost 11 million shares for that day. So don't freak out, you guys. Just go ahead and submit per usual, and those shares will display. If I go over here to history, you can see there it is, 10.88 million shares. And if I click on the little eyeball icon, that's about 2.73 as of me recording this video, but you know that is a 48-hour clock, so the round is still in progress. So with that out of the way, I wanted to get out that update that we do officially have the 8th dock unlocked. You can go ahead and put whatever kind of a miner in there that you want. And now I'm just going to go into a small overview on what Get Fit mining is, and I'm going to cut through the fluff. This isn't necessarily for a new person, but it's for someone that's already involved in the project, and they're wondering, like, what does this mean? How come I'm getting charged, X amount of fees for this? All those questions are going to get answered. That's my goal, at least, that's my goal in this video, is to answer those type of questions. So first and foremost, MoveQuest, I got to get used to saying MoveQuest. It is a app, and soon for iPhone users, we won't need to go and download TestFlight. The official migration is going to happen sometime in November based on what Miss Lynette Artin has stated between yesterday's calls and whatnot. But that app is a app that is going to track your fitness, right? So everybody knows 20,000 steps, 10 miles, 2,000 calories. What else do we have? 2 hours of exercise, and then 8 hours of sleep. Those are 5 categories that you can max out. And the more you do in all those categories, the more of a share that you will get on the daily MoveQuest. Right now, it's 2,500 MoveQuests that are going out every single day in that pool. Well, we know that it's going to be going up to 3,000 to 3,500, and I'm hearing closer to the 3,500 mark every day. And that should happen relatively soon, within the next day or two of me releasing this video. That's based on however many people we can get to submit. I think the last I heard, we need to be over 4,000 wallets submitting daily before that can officially happen, as well as the 25,000 miners that are docked. And we know that the 25,000 miner goal has been accomplished because the 8th dock was released because of that. So now all we need to do is ensure that those 4,000 wallets are submitting every day. And there's a difference between people having miners and people submitting. People can have miners all day long, but if they don't submit, it's not contributing to the ecosystem of the project. So it's important that not only that you have the miners, but that you're submitting. And the example of what I just showed you guys on the screen of me submitting my data, that is how you submit. So you need to make sure that you're actually submitting and not just holding on to miners. This does require a daily action from your part, your activity. But that, like I said, that helps the ecosystem turn. So those are the 5 categories you have. Now, keep in mind, if you're going out there and you're only doing a mile a day and you're only doing, 3,000 steps and you're only sleeping for 3 hours, please, if you have all 8 omegas or all 7 omegas, don't expect the world, right? You can have the highest powered miners, but if you're not doing anything, the shares will reflect. And don't get angry, don't get mad. The power is literally in your hands and in your feet, right? You have to get up and move. That's why it's called the MoveQuest, right? So the more you move, the more of a share that you get from the daily distribution pool, right? So that's how that works. Now, the next thing to keep in mind is the actual submission cost, right? It costs to submit. Now, before I dive too deep into this, please, please, please realize that as a business, someone that is making money on something, I'm going to use the example of trucking. If you own your own truck, right? You're an owner operator, let's say, and you have to drive from Florida to Texas, right? Let's just say you're going from Florida to Texas. In order to get from Florida to Texas, you have to put diesel in that truck, or that truck is just not going to move. If that truck's not moving, you're not going to get paid, right? This is the equivalent. We have to put gas, literal gas, in our submissions in order for the wheels to keep turning for us, right? The beauty is we don't have to get up every day and go drive and be distant from our family and, you know, all these other types of things. And our gas fees, it shows you right in the app. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen once more, and I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. So let me do another share. And to get to this screen, all you have to do, you can go from the home screen. You just click on the earnings tab, the little rocket ship. Then you can click on the wallet in the upper right-hand corner. Now that I think about it, you don't even have to click the rocket ship to see the screen. You can just click on your wallet, your external wallet in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll scroll down. And at the very bottom, you'll see all of the fees. The claim fee and the submission fee are the two that I really want to highlight in this video. So your claim fee, you are claiming every time you go and you want to collect your reward, and you hit that claim button under the earnings tab. You can do that every day. You can do that every other day. You could do it every 10 days. You could do it as frequently or as infrequently as you want to. But when you click that claim, you're going to have to pay that fee in AVAX. Now, to figure out how much that equates to, you have to convert and find out how much AVAX is. And at the time of me recording this video, I want to say AVAX is around $27 or $28. So if that's the case, what would you do? You would take $28 times 0.028. Oh, not 0.028, 0.28, right? So it's going to be $7.84. And that's based on, oh, I'm sorry, I gave you wrong information. So it's 0.223. So you see here where it says claim fees towards the bottom, 0.223. So let's do that one more time. So $27 times 0.223. So it's about $6. $6 USD equivalent for what the AVAX is actually going to cost you. So that's why it doesn't matter if you do this every day, it's going to be $6 equivalent, or whatever AVAX is at that time when you go to claim in a claim fee, right? Now, if you do that every 10 days, you're only paying $6 or so, whatever the conversion is, every 10th day. And you're going to get all that MQT, and it's going to go right into your wallet that you have connected for the project, for your MQT, right? All right, so the next fee that we're going to look at is a submission fee. You can see that the submission fee is 0.0223, right? So that one does have a 0 placeholder in front of your first number. But the major difference is that the submission fee is per miner. So this is where you have to, I'm going to stop share so I can look at you right now when I tell you this. This is where you have to be really, really strategic. If you're going to come in and you only have $1,000 to work with, think to yourself, does it make sense to just get all 7 Lennys, or can I possibly make more by getting 1 Lenny and taking it up to Omega, or 2 Lennys and taking them up to Alpha, or something of that nature? You have to do the math ahead of time. And the reason why I'm saying it might be better to upgrade just 2 or 3 Lennys is because the less you have in the docks, if you're not going to go all Omegas, well, now you're going to pay less in submission fees, right? But you're going to be able to have a higher power. So I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just telling you to do the math, all right? We're going to cut through the nitty gritty, like I said at the beginning of this video. So let's do some math. Let's do some math. I'm going to share my screen again so you guys can see. All right, so let's just say, for example, you have 0.02, what was it? 23 times 27. All right, so 60 cents approximately, but that's per miner that you have docked. All right, so if we take 60 cents and we multiply that by 8, that's going to be about $4.81 total if you have all 8 miners docked, versus, like I was saying, if you have just one and it's taken up to an alpha or an omega or something like that, you're only paying the 60 cents for that one miner, not for all 8. So when you look and you see, man, my AVAX seems to be draining down, pretty quick. The reason why is because you have to figure the math for however many miners you have personally docked. All right, so now the other math I want to do with you guys is the math of, let's say you were going to get 8 Lennys, right? So we know 8 Lennys is going to give us 50%. So 8 times 50 is 400%. All right, so 400%, if you wanted to just have all Lennys and you didn't upgrade them or you didn't evolve, that's going to leave you with 400%. Versus, versus, let's just say you have one omega and one primary, right? So one omega is going to give you 300% and one primary is going to give you 100%. That's also 400%. But now, instead of paying, the 4 or whatever we just said, you're paying, 60 cents times 2, which is only $1.20 in submission fees every day. So this is what we mean by when we say be strategic. And I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm not telling you to go out here and buy one omega and one primary. Don't say, oh, Mr. Crypto Vet told me to do this. No. You do what you want to do. I'm just telling you how to be strategic about it if you only are working with a certain budget and you don't want to pay a whole lot in submission fees if you're going to have very low producing level miners, if that makes sense. So if you guys have any questions on this at all, please feel free to drop the questions in the comment section below and I will get back to you on it. But here's another example. Even if you just did half with primaries, right? If you had 4 primaries, that's 4 times 100%. That also gives you 400%, right? But you're paying half the submission fee that you would if you had 8 Lennys, right? It's the same exact thing, but you're just paying double the fees. So you have to calculate and do the math. Also, another update that I wanted to give is that the cost to go from a Lenny to a primary has increased. It used to be $30, but it is now $50. So keep that in mind. The longer and longer that you wait to evolve, I promise you, it is going to get increasingly more expensive to evolve from Lenny all the way through the ranks. The Lennys themselves might go up in cost. Right now, they're only $50 converted in NQT to get a Lenny. That's to get your foot in the door, right? Put your foot in the pond, right? To get your foot just a little bit wet. So just if you want to stockpile them, buy as many as you want. You can have as many miners as you want right now. You can only have 8 docked. But we are going to be having the leasing program coming here pretty soon. And any extra miners that you have, hey, feel free to lease them bad boys out, because I'm just using hypothetical numbers. Please, I don't know how much a Lenny is going to cost in the future, but we know that there's other projects that miners were $500 at one point, and now they're $120,000 value for that same $500 miner, right? So you do the math on that. We know that the appreciation of the value of the asset that you have can grow over time. Let's just say a year from now, instead of a Lenny being $50, it costs $5,000 for a Lenny. Aren't you going to be glad that you were able to scoop up a Lenny for $50 way back when in October or September of 2024, right? I don't even know if by the time this video goes out, if the cost of a Lenny is going to be $50 still. And please don't go FOMO and buy a whole bunch of Lennys if you can't afford it. Please only invest what you can afford, right? Don't go out and spend your rent money, your grocery money, your kids' money. Don't go out and spend that just to invest and get your Lennys. Please use, strategics, and don't do anything that, is just not smart, right? So I wanted to share those updates with you guys and let you know how it works. The evolution, this is another big one that I get all the time. Another big question is, how do we evolve? So you have to evolve through the DAP. There's actually a really good explainer video. I'll leave it in the description of this video. But you have to go from Lenny to primary, primary to ultra, ultra to alpha, and then it takes 2 alphas to make 1 omega. So what does that mean? That means if you want to have an omega minor, you need to start with at least 2 Lennys, right? Because you need to evolve both of those Lennys all the way through those 4 steps. You can't skip. You have to pay for each progression all the way through in order to merge them at the very end to get the 1 omega. But if you just wanted to go to alpha, for example, you can do that with just 1 Lenny. It doesn't take 2. So you go, once again, Lenny, primary, ultra, alpha, omega. Lenny's 50 in MQT, and then the rest of the evolution happens in USDT. So what does that mean? You have to convert your AVAX or whatever coin you choose to use and buy MQT. Once that happens, the $50 worth of MQT, you'll use it for the Lenny itself. Then from there, you need to convert your crypto into USDT on the AVAX chain, right? And from there, you'll use the USDT to evolve. So once you have your Lenny paid for in MQT, you're going to take USDT, and it takes 50 of those to go from a Lenny to a primary, right? Then it's going to take 40, right now, at the time of this video, 40 to go from a primary to an ultra. Then it takes 60 USDT to go from ultra to alpha, right? And then that's the highest you can go on 1 miner. Once you have done that same process again on another Lenny and you have 2 alphas, they come together to form 1 omega, and that takes 200 USDT to do that last move of merging them together, right? So do the math on that, add it up. For those people who have 7 miners right now and they want to put an 8th, let's just say you're going, I did this yesterday. I'm going to do the math on this, and I'll share my screen so you can watch me do it at the same time. Okay, so it's going to take 50 USDT. And for the sake of this example, I'll do both. I'll just go from, if you're going from Lenny to alpha, and then I'll do one if you're going from Lenny to omega. So this is the first example is going to be from Lenny to alpha. Okay, so we know that it's going to take $50 in MQT, so 50 in MQT, plus we know it's going to take 50 to go to primary, plus it's going to be a 40 to go to ultra, plus it's going to be 60 to go to alpha, right? So just to go get a Lenny and take it all the way to alpha, it's going to be $200, right? So now you basically have to multiply that same process times 2, right? And that's going to be 400, and that'll give you 2 primaries. And then to go from those 2, I'm sorry, not primaries, 2 alphas to merge into 1 omega is going to be 200. So you're going to add another 200, and that's going to be 600. So all the way from 0 to omega right now, at the time of me recording this video, is going to be 600. Now you have to take into account for the cost of that 8th doc. Right now, it's $120 converted. That has to be purchased in MQT as well. So that's going to be another $120. So all in, if you were starting from scratch, it's going to be $720 converted for that 8th spot to get an omega. So I hope that made sense. If it didn't, please rewind the video and watch it again, break it down. I'm going to try and throw up some visual aids so as I'm talking, you guys can see. Pause the video, rewind, figure out your math, get a calculator, do the math. I wanted to bring all of those updates and things to your attention. The last thing I want to talk about in this video specifically is going to be actually 2 things. The first thing is going to be the price. Right now, we are sitting firmly in the $60 range. But let me just refresh your guys' memory. And I want to go back here all the way to July. I shouldn't say all the way because this was literally 2 months ago, right? 60 days. We were at $1 something, you guys, $1 something. Then we made our way over here to 35 and someone sold 80 something thousand worth and dropped it to 27. And then boom, we spiked up and we were on a bullish run for a while, but $46. And can I just remind people how excited we were for a $45 coin, or I'm sorry, not a coin, a $45 token? I mean, this is just amazing. Look at this huge bull run we had. And then we kind of leveled off right here around the 109, 108 range. And then people started to take profits. You guys, I am a trader. I understand how it works. When profits, I mean, once you hit all-time highs in certain things, in certain areas, people are going to take profits. That's just the name of the game. This is how a chart, there's no chart out there. You can't name me one where it's just green bar after green bar after green bar, and the price just goes straight up. It doesn't make any sense. So people started taking profits, and then we had a huge sell right here. You see the contract, the liquidity contract, the provision kicked in and did what it was supposed to do. And then the same person that sold off also bought back in on top of the liquidity provision, and it jumped the price all the way up to 125. Then we had more people take profits. Then we had someone get hacked right here, and that caused a huge sell-off. But then the liquidity provision still did what it was supposed to do and kicked back in, and people have just been continuing to take profits. Now, here's where I have an issue. I have an issue with people just selling hundreds of these at a time, 20, and this is my personal issue. This isn't an issue with the project by any means. And Lynette has been very, very clear and very vocal about this. She doesn't care. People can go and sell if they want to, right? That's good. We get the weak hands out now, right? You'll never be able to get 100 coins as easy as you could yesterday, right? It's just going to continue to get harder and harder and harder the more people that get into the project. So it's not even in my benefit to go out here and share this with people, because the more people that crowd the community, the harder it's going to be to get the coins. But at the same time, we're going to have an appreciating asset. So the value of the MQT is going to go up over time, right? But to all my weak paper hand folks, I just got one thing. I got one thing to share with you guys. Diamond hands, baby. Diamond hands. Let's go. So, no, in all seriousness, I'm going to hold on to my tokens as long as possible, unless I absolutely need to sell for an emergency. I did sell. Now, I will tell you this. I did sell to Evolve and get that 8th Omega because I didn't want to come out of pocket for that. So I did sell. And you're going to see a lot of people that are selling off for that here. And, that's in their right. People don't go and, mortgage the house and all these kind of crazy things just to get that 8th docked. If you have the MQT available, go for it, because it's just going to go back into the liquidity anyways. So it doesn't hurt the project whatsoever. But people are taking profits, and we're still hovering around this $63 range. So word on the street is that there's going to be some influencers and some heavy communities coming into the project. So take advantage while you can of these prices. I promise you, I'm guaranteeing to you that the price to evolve, the price to get the Lennys, the price to, do all these things is going to go up over time. But what Miss Lynette has said is that we could expect a 4-digit token before the end of the year. And I take that to heart, because before all this happened over here and we got to 100, she said that by Friday, which was, I think, this was it. Yeah, it was either the 6th or the 7th. She said that it was a Friday. She said we are going to see a $100 MQT, and we were sitting around 70 something. So I was like, I don't know if that's going to happen. And sure enough, with like the snap of a finger, we got to 100. So when she says stuff like that, I take it to heart, because she's made the predictions in the past. And it's not even really a prediction. This is all based on numbers. If you don't know Miss Lynette, she is a numbers-oriented and driven person. She always has her Excel spreadsheets up and shows you exactly how we are going to get to the next goal. So if she's saying that we're going to hit a 4-digit token before the end of this year, then I know that is going to happen. I'm out here doing my part by sharing it with as many people as I possibly can, making sure people are getting healthy and wealthy at the same time. So I just encourage people to go out here and share it with just one person. If you could just change one person's life by having them submit the data that they're accumulating anyways. People are going to walk, people are going to exercise, people are going to, take steps, people are going to sleep, you know? So if you can get paid for it, why not? Right now, we're kind of in this consolidation period, but if you notice, the same thing happened over here, and then boom, we had a huge uptick in price. And then what do you know? Consolidation, then boom, another uptick. Consolidation, and then boom, another breakout. So this is just how trading works, you guys. We are in consolidation right now. We might even see a little bit more of a retracement. I don't think it's going to get past the $40 mark, but we can see a huge spike in price coming soon. But I'm not guaranteeing that. I'm just letting you guys know based off of what we've seen in the past and how other, things work as far as trading and all that. Because people are trading MoveQuest. It's not just people coming in and getting involved and submitting into the project, but people are just buying. And I know people personally because I've showed them how to do it. They just say, hey, how can I buy MQT? I just want to add it to my portfolio. And I show them how to buy it. They don't want to mine for whatever reason, but hey, to each their own. And then the last thing for real that I want to share with you guys is this chart right here. So we've seen this on a call that Lynette did the other day, and it's in the recording section of that Telegram group that I was talking about at the beginning of this video. But you can see here in real time people that are submitting. So when I say it's a numbers thing, it really is. She scrolled down in the video and showed about a month ago, we only had 800 something people submitting daily. And look at the growth that we've had. We are now over right at 4,000 submissions a day. And once that happens, that the airdrop is going to switch from 2,500 to 3,500 MQT a day. So that's why I say just go out there and share it with one person. It's going to be beneficial for not just you, but for that new person that comes on as well. So there's a lot happening behind the scenes. I'm excited. I'm going to be in Vegas for that event in November. I hope it doesn't conflict with another project that I'm working on because we also have an event in Vegas in November. Hopefully it's not on the same exact weekend, but either way, November is looking like it's going to be a very Vegas type month. Let me know what you guys think about the project. Please leave it in the comment section down below. I hope to hear from you guys soon. Once again, I am going to be making a Telegram or WhatsApp group specifically for my team. So if you are on my team, reach out to me, let me know, and I will get you added into that group. You guys have an amazing rest of your weekend and have a very prosperous week. And I will catch you guys on the next update. Take care. Peace.